Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome to Little's Law YouTube channel. And today, in this video, we will see about another interesting plugin, which is the Throughput Shaping Timer. So this plugin is specifically designed to schedule the number of transactions per second. So using this, we can design the application in a way that we can make the test, or we can make the script to achieve the amount of request that we want to hit the application. We can increase the load, or we can decrease the load, or we can keep it constant. So let's now see how to do it, and let's see what are all the advantages of using this throughput shaping timer in this video. So first, we have a thread group, and then we have a HTTP request, and after that we have a flexible file writer added to it, and then a results tree. So to add this throughput shaping timer, so to add the throughput shaping timer, we'll have to go to the thread group, add timer, and choose the throughput shaping timer. So let's move on to the top on the requests. So here we have the throughput shaping timer. So let's now start adding the number of transactions that we need. So first, let's start with one transaction or one request per second, and we will expect it to 50 requests per second. Then we'll add another row where we wanted to have 50 to 100 requests per second, and then let's copy the row, and then let's make it to 100 to 150 requests per second. Then let's copy it one more time. Let's make it 150 to 200 requests per second, and one last time, which is 200 to again, which is 1. So here we can see that we will start the requests from 1 request per second to 50 requests per second, and we will reach that by the duration of 60 seconds, and then from that 61st second we will have 50 requests per second to 100 requests per second, so which means the test will last for 120. And then from the 100 requests per second to 150 requests per second, we have another 60 seconds of duration, and then the 150 to 200 from the 181st second to the 240th second. And then finally we are ramping down from the 200 requests per second to the 1 request per second in the last 60 seconds. So in the thread group, we have one thread which ramp up for 1 second. So what we will do is, let's give a thread group of 50 users and see whether we were able to achieve the request per second. So let's increase the user load to 1 user, and the ramp up is going to be in every 3 seconds, and then we can change it to infinite, so that by the time all the requests per second has been reached, the test will complete. So before we start the test, let's add the listeners. We will add our 3 basic graphs, which starts from active threads over time, and then the next graph is the response over time, and then the last, the most basic graph, is the transactions per second. So this will show us how many users are active in the test, or how many users are active over time, and then what is the response times we achieve, and then the transactions per second we were able to achieve. So this is a very important graph, since this is what we are going to achieve. And now we have the throughput shaping timer, where we could see that the test starts with 1 request per second, reaches to 50, and then 100, 150, 200, and finally it ramps down to 1, and the test will run for next 5 minutes. So let's watch how does it work, and let's see what kind of tuning we can do to increase or decrease the user load or the thread group, depending on our transactions per second or the request per second schedule. So let's start the test now and see what happens. So the test has completed with 0 errors, and the request per second has started very well. So up to 1 minute we were able to achieve the 50 requests per second, and even we were able to achieve the 100 requests per second. But after that there was a saturation that the maximum we have or we are able to achieve is up to 115 requests per second, and it stayed still, and that was the maximum user or the maximum request per second that we were able to achieve. But what is the expectation? That the expectation we have is we have to reach around 200 requests per second. So what is, or like, how can we achieve it? How can we achieve the 200 requests per second? Since we use 50 users, but still we were able to achieve 120 requests per second, to be precise. Like, we were able to reach 120 requests per second. So what is, or like, how can we achieve, or how can we reach the requested or the planned request? So let's move to the response time. So here we can see that we have got around 800 plus, like 800, around 880 as the maximum milliseconds of response time that we have got. So we have a formula where we can use this maximum response time, and we can find what can be the maximum thread group, or what can be the maximum user load we can use for testing. So this is what we are going to use. So we have the thread pool size. So what is the maximum thread or maximum request per second we expect? So we want to have 200 requests per second, and what is the maximum, which is 880 milliseconds, and when we divide it by 1000, so this is the required requests, this is the required request, the maximum required request per second, and then we have the maximum response time, which will be divided by 1000. So here we can see that the required request per second is multiplied with the maximum response time, and when it divided by 1000 we get the precise number. So we have the 176 as the user load of the thread group. So let's use it here. So in the thread group, let's make it as 176, and let's now run the test again and see whether we were able to achieve our request, that's the expected maximum request per second. So let's start the test again, and we will see once the test is completed. So the test has completed with 0 errors, and here we can see that we were able to achieve the expected throughput. And here we can clearly see that we are able to achieve the expected request per second with the actual amount of users, since the highest expectation or highest request per second is 200, but still we have not used 200. So we were able to find that in our smoke test, where we were able to calculate that with the what is the required request per second, and then we were able to find the maximum response time that we have achieved with the smoke test we ran with 50 users, and then by dividing them with 1000 we were able to get the precise user load or precise thread group of how much we need to run this test, and with that we were able to achieve the required response or required request per second without any errors. So I believe you make sure you make use of this particular plugin to make sure to make achieve the requested requests per second in your during your testing. And I believe this video would have been very useful to you. Until we meet you in another interesting video, it's bye from Vasan Shanmugam and Little's Law.